Mass evacuations are taking place right now in the Middle East as Donald Trump has alerted Israel that the United States is planning a massive attack bigger than Epic Fury any minute now, any moment now. That's what Israeli media is reporting based on Donald Trump's communication with Netanyahu. And in Israel, Donald Trump is crashing out during a press conference right now while we see these mass evacuations taking place in the Middle East. We're seeing the United States evacuate a lot of its military equipment, moving it to a staging ground in Israel where they have the Iron Dome protection. Meanwhile, our troops still remain targets in the Middle East as Donald Trump escalates and Iran is responding. Now, there has been numerous surveillance and satellite photos of the containerized barracks in Jordan and Kuwait showing that Iran has struck these containerized barracks where there is a lot of U.S. military in the region where they are housed. We've seen 10 medevac airplanes in the region over the past few days. I believe the Trump regime is covering up potentially thousands of injuries. Let me repeat that. Thousands of injuries, I believe, are actually being covered up. The official fatality account is 18 right now, but I believe the number is actually higher than the 4 that has been reported, although we will wait to get more information there. I just believe the Trump regime has been covering up a lot of the data coming out from this area. Let's talk about Donald Trump crashing out during this disastrous press conference right now. Donald Trump, let me show you what he said. He said he's bragging about the 18 who were killed. There's only 18, much less than the other wars. How disgusting. Let's play this clip.
That's 18 in 2 wars, and 1 is too many, but it's 18, whereas in Vietnam we lost 200,000. We lost thousands and thousands in Afghanistan. We lost thousands in every war. The Korean War, thousands, and these wars all lasted for years. And we want to get it over with, and we want to do it right. But we have to do what we came to do, and that's we can't let these people, very violent people, we can't let them have what they want, which is nuclear weapons.
Donald Trump said, in fact, there's only 18 dead. This is going way better than anybody expected. I'm doing great right now, right, everybody? Aren't I handling the war great? Here, play this clip.
Subjects. One is the Iran war, where, again, we're doing very well, very, very well. I would say better than anybody expected could be done. We've knocked out their Navy, their Air Force.
Then Donald Trump says at this disastrous press conference moments ago that Iran wants to make a deal so badly. They're saying they want to make a deal, but he said, we need to give more pain to Iran. They need to suffer more pain before we do a deal. Here, play this clip.
We're doing very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. If we did all this that I'm talking about your data centers, isn't that important? When they start blowing away communities one by one, we cannot let them ever even think about having a nuclear weapon. And that's exactly what's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon under the...
Meanwhile, we're seeing massive explosions right now taking place in Kuwait after being struck by Iranian ballistic missiles moments ago. From the satellite footage and surveillance footage that we're seeing and the geolocation of it all, the geo-targeting seems to be where there are U.S. HIMARS, you know, those kind of ground-based missiles that are used by the U.S., but massive explosions after Iranian strikes moments ago right there. Donald Trump then says Iran has no military. They're fully destroyed. They have nothing right now. And so the U.S. is enforcing its will on Iran. The U.S. controls the Strait of Hormuz. And even though you see right now the Houthis in control of the Bab el-Mandab Strait, enforcing a blockade against Saudi Arabian tankers, even though Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz and 0 ships have left, Donald Trump says that's fake news. We're winning. Iran has been obliterated, he says. Here, play this clip.
Their drones are down 84%. Their missiles are down 91%. And I had a newspaper say, they're in stronger position today than they were 4 months ago. No, that's not the truth. That's not right. I can't believe they're even allowed to say it. New York Times said, they're in stronger position today. They have no military. They have no navy. They had 159 ships. Everyone's at the bottom of the sea. They had 212 airplanes. Everyone is gone. They have no radar. They have no anti-aircraft.
And while Donald Trump says that the IRGC in Iran has no weapons, I'll just show you right in the center of Azadi Square in Tehran. I mean, you can see the besieged forces over here in Iran showing a submarine affiliated with the IRGC and their missile system. They're doing like parades right there in the center of Tehran. Here, play this clip. Then Donald Trump said, and the American dream was always there until we came along. Until the Trump administration came along, there was once an American dream. Okay, I agree with that. Here, play this clip.
Dreams. We have the American dream. Until we came along, we had a great first term.
Yeah, you destroyed the American dream. Donald Trump said, and prices are great. The cost of living is amazing. Prices would be soaring if you had somebody else in charge. But thankfully, Trump says, I'm in charge and prices have never been lower, he says. Here, let's play this clip.
This administration, we've gotten a lot of them out. We're getting the rest of them out fast. But the Democrats in Congress want less energy, not more. And if given the chance, they'd send your prices soaring and inflation skyrocketing, which is exactly what would happen if you had somebody else sitting in the position that I am right now. And just like we did.
Then Donald Trump goes on to continue to talk about how what he's doing to Iran right now, other presidents should have done. They've been saying they would do it for 47 years, but only Donald Trump has the courage to be taking such successful measures, he says. See the success, everybody? Yeah, the markets are crashing. People can't afford anything. Crude is above $100 a barrel, heading to $150 a barrel. More of our troops keep getting killed, but this is amazing. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. The Houthis control the Bab el-Mandab Strait. There's war everywhere. But folks, this is what everybody wanted, Donald Trump says. Let's play it.
A nuclear weapon, and that's exactly what's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon under the. And by the way, this should have been done by other. They've been saying 47 years now for about 3 years, but this should have been done for 50 years by other American presidents or other countries. Didn't have to be us, but it seems to. If we don't do it, nobody else is. But I will, and nobody else has the capability to do it either. We built, in my first term, the greatest military anywhere in the world.
Then Donald Trump doesn't know where the Nebraska governor who's sitting right next to him is. Let's play this clip.
Jim Pillen, who's done a fantastic job. He's where's Jim? Is there any someplace? Where are you? Oh, hello, Jim. You're looking good. You don't change much. Thank you. You don't change much. How's Nebraska doing? Good? Do they still like Trump in Nebraska? I think so. Huh? We had a very good night 2 nights ago in a place called Arizona.
Then Donald Trump says, you don't want to be hoodwinked by people who tell you they're going to get you free homes or free rent. You can't trust people who say they're going to get you free things. Let's be very clear. You ran your campaign, in addition to saying deranged and sick stuff. You said that you were going to make things so cheap on day one and you could fix it and you would do this and you would do that. You're describing yourself right now. When Donald Trump says that he would make the greatest communist, just like Lenin. Remember Donald Trump? I'd be the greatest communist, just like Lenin, because I'd promise everything, then I wouldn't deliver, and then people would live in death and squalor, or they would live in squalor and die, rather. Yeah, that's you. He's describing himself. Let's play this clip.
And we're going to continue to be free as long as we're smart. And we can't be hoodwinked. We can't be taken advantage of by people that say you're going to have a free home, you're going to get free rent, everything's going to be free. What they don't say is a year later, everything is going to end up in squalor. destruction and death, and also death for our country. So we have to stop the threat of the communist rhetoric that you're hearing right now, because these people, they don't.
Then Donald Trump says, okay, I have an idea that's going to make your life even better. It's great right now, he says, but here's how we're going to make your life better. More data centers in your community. Communities are begging me, Donald, they say, we want more data centers. Here, play this clip.
And even communities compared to other communities. You have some communities that really want this. This isn't all negative stuff. You have communities that really want the data centers. And frankly, those are the smart communities, because it means tremendous numbers of jobs, very little actual disruption. And the ones that don't want it, the happiest people in the world are foreign countries, number one, and number two, other communities within our country, because they're begging for them to be there. And some of them are great communities, very, very forward-looking communities, very smart communities.
More from Donald Trump over here, struggling to sit in his chair, and then this deranged audience laughing and finding this whole thing funny, when it's one of the most bizarre things for me to see, like people even laughing at this. Play this clip.
Thank you very much, everybody. I heard about this group, and they said, could you come over and run over and say a few things? And I said, absolutely, I will. And they gave me the lowest seat I've ever sat in. And I think, they said that. They do that on purpose. I don't think it was Chris that did it. I'm just trying to compare them. Chris wouldn't do that, but it happens.
You have Secretary Chris Wright, the energy secretary, blaming Biden for high electricity prices. The prices are so high now, even though we're 2 years into this regime, because of Biden. Biden did it. Here, play this clip.
Terms with the developers of data centers that have stopped the rises of electricity prices where these investments have been made. Sadly, we see this issue being politicized now. We see Democrats in New York saying we're going to ban the development of data centers. And they're doing this because the green energy mandates they pushed at the national level under Biden and at the state level, that's what drives up electricity prices. And they want to blame something else for that. Of course, they're going to double down on stupid and end out with even greater increases in electricity. The states, Maine is one of the states with zero data centers, has very high electricity prices.
Donald Trump then brags that the United States basically stole 10% of Intel. By the way, there's a derivative shareholders lawsuit against Intel for diluting their shares. So Donald Trump took the CHIPS Act money that was supposed to go to Intel, and then Donald Trump said that the U.S. would seize 10% of Intel. And that's the model. Sounds a little bit like Lenin there, Donald. And by the way, you may say, well, if all these corporations are making all this profit, should the United States share in it? Sure. But do you know where the $13 billion have went that Donald Trump did when he conquered Venezuela? Does anybody know where any of this money is going? Probably self-dealing, in my opinion. But, we could always just ask these questions. Here, play this clip.
Building in this country now with same thing with chips. We'll have about 50% by the time this term is over. We're going to have probably 50% of the chip market. A year ago, when we began, we had no chip market. We had virtually none other than Intel. We had Intel. And we made a purchase of 10% of Intel. We got it for the right price. And we made approximately $72 billion on that deal. So it was good. Do I get credit for that one? No. I get no credit.
Then Donald Trump said something about the biggest threat is communists, and a poll came out. Communists are highly educated but doing poorly. They're losers. I don't even know what he's talking about here. Here, let's play this clip right here.
So we have to stop the threat of the communist rhetoric that you're hearing right now, because these people, they don't act. I'm very happy a poll came out. It said they're highly educated but doing very poorly. In other words, they're losers. They went to school, they got a good education, now they don't know what they're doing. So what they do is they complain about people like yourselves that have done so well. But we can't let the communist ideology we don't want to even think about it for this country. It would be terrible.
And then finally, Donald Trump continues to get the worst polling ever in the latest Pew Research poll, 34%. I mean, the guy's polling is worse than Nixon when Nixon resigned. All right, we'll keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate you. Oh, WTF America. Pre-order W. It comes out in October, but pre-order it right now, please.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.